So we'll just start now after 1 minute. Huh?
Okay, sir.
Today I'm very happy to have with us Dr. Jyoti Vora. She is a very active person and also very enthusiastic. I talked to her in Mumbai about a week back and she said, yes, I'll give a talk. And I was very, very happy that she agreed to give a talk in MBSI. She is having many expertise with her. She is a consultant, she is a trainer, she is a researcher, and she is also the CEO of Dhirang Consultants. And she has got a wide knowledge. Today morning, I was talking to her that we will meet at 5 o'clock. She was in a board of studies meeting in Mumbai. So she's a very busy person, but we are very fortunate to have her today to talk to us. So, Dr. Jyoti, please start.
Thank you, Atma Namaste in our nice Bharatiya way. And thank you very much for inviting me to give this talk and to be connected to this very prestigious academic body, which has at its fountainhead such a brilliant person like Dr. Swaranjit Singh ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
madam.
using the concept of online, all over the world, we can connect to each other. This is the wonderful thing which has come out of the pandemic. I'm really happy to be given an opportunity to present a little, thumbnail of my research, my interest, and also like I do it in every lecture because I am a teacher. Why exactly should I be here? Then I would like to tell you that I'm a core microbiologist. And my PhD is in microbial biochemistry. I worked on deuteromycetes. And I am from IIT Powai in Mumbai. And after that, I've worked, studied, lectured at Harvard and Oxford. And life as a microbiologist is very good. And I'm really privileged to be back to my nativity. That is the microbiological community, namely all of you elite people. So thank you very much for having me here.
You are welcome.
We should never as a moment also forget that our true ancestors are the microorganisms. And like we say in Vedic sciences and in Sanskrit, Pancha Mahabhut. So earth, water, air, fire, and ether with the center point of food is all governed by microorganisms. And my research as I went along moved in all these areas because I have been head of the department and connected to academics for 33 years now. And my absolute imagination was that my students should not only be excellent microbiologists, biochemists, biotechnologists, biologists, but they should be able to give job. All of them should go into the entrepreneurship phase. So with that concept, I am presenting today how certain aspects are very important for us microbiologists. And with your due permission, I am putting it on slideshow. I will request you to tell me that you can see the whole thing, please. The title of my presentation is Overview of Total Quality Management in Food Fortification, and it's a nutraceutical and bioactive approach. As a biochemist, I have been connected to food through and through, and nutraceutical sciences is an offspring of again a very ancient thought by our ancestors who said, let food be thy medicine, which was repeated by Hippocrates in the 6th century BC. Food is a recession-free commodity, and therefore there is no question of any kind of ups and downs in the market of food. Till there's life on earth, we would be connected to food. So that is the serious advantage of food and microbiology. In our Bharatiya language, we say Anna He Purna Brahma, which basically means that at the total fulcrum of all genesis of creation is food. And throughout the evolutionary ladder, right from viruses whom we do not even count as living beings, they are particles because they have neither the two nucleic acids, nor do they fit into the definition. They either have DNA or RNA. So viruses, microorganisms, plants, animals, and of course, at the apex, human beings. But at every stage, food, nutrition is what is needed. Like I said, it's an ode to Hippocrates, who in this thesis of his said that I have got knowledge and wisdom from the Indies, from the Eastern world. So he referred to us all those years ago. Of course, the first sentence that I make my students write is, we are what we eat. And there is a direct connection between diet and disease. If the food intake, dietary interventions, and nutritional profile of an organism is perfect, then there is no question of concerning ourselves with disease. And through diet and dietary interventions, disease can be managed in 3 ways. First is preventive. You directly say, don't get the disease because you are wellness oriented. Just yesterday was World Health Day. Actually, it should be World Wellness Day. The next is, if the disease occurs, then you handle it with food. And the third is, if there are diseases which are incurable, cancer, AIDS, some examples which horrify us even today, these diseases can be managed and quality of life becomes better with the dietary interventions. So having said that, I have put for your perspective 5 magical practices which are related to nutrition. Prevention, like I told you, you don't allow the disease to happen. Curative, that means if the disease has happened, you catch hold of it and manage it. Then managerial, that if you can't do anything with it, you have to live with it, then you take it from there. And alleviation, I think in the pandemic, all of us understood this. When there were millions and trillions of immune boosters, even the common man understood what is immunity, what is immune booster, and how the kadha will help you to get better. And overall wellness. So there are 5 magical practices which can be indulged in through nutrition. The advantage of the Homo sapien is also an advantage and a disadvantage. If you look at the Latin meaning of the word Homo sapien, it means thinking species. We are emotionally involved with everything, including food. Most organisms in the evolutionary ladder below us, they eat to live. To them, nutritional intake is like any other physiological practice. But in our case, we live to eat. We involve ourselves emotionally with food. All our senses are involved with food. So this is the advantage as well as the disadvantage with Homo sapiens. So what is the need of the hour? The need of the hour is a provision of wholesome food, which has to manage holistic wellness, that too at a cost-effective concept for the laity. Laity means common people. So if the population is well fed, if at the center point you address the Homo sapien as a resource and the largest wealth of the country, then I think you are very much sound as a policy maker. So the flow sheet of the moment, and here I'm going to take a minute off for my learned audience just to tell you that we are the most blessed country. Number one, the way we learned at school that India lives in its villages. It was, convoluted at that time. We didn't understand it. But what really it means is we are an agrarian economy. The next most important thing is the Almighty has blessed us with all belts, all geographic climates. We have the mountains, we have the plains, we have the plateau, we have the desert, we have the rainforest-like areas in our country. And therefore, center point of our understanding is growing food, cultivating it, and so on. Today, through microbiology, biotechnology, biological sciences, center point of which is biochemistry, there is a large scale production. And after that, we go into what is called post-harvest technology and cultivation, packaging, showcasing, marketing, and consumption. The game changers of food quality are 5 in number. How do you store it? Even in your own home. What exactly is the shelf life of the food? Is it long-term shelf life or is it short-term shelf life? I'm part of the advisory committee of the FSSAI, and stringent rules are made about how to define shelf life, how to, uh, quantize it, how to make it empiric. Adulteration becomes a very, very big aspect. In ancient Rome, the word adulteration connected to adultery, loss of moral character, and the punishment for that was public beheading. That is the exact thing that has to be done. Therefore, correct labeling, correct branding, and all these game changers of food quality form the base point of total quality management. Of course, we in the sector of food are already ridden with something which is scaring us, which always is a shackle on our feet, and that is perishability. No food remains constant in its quality forever. Every moment it changes. We have what is called MRA, microbial risk management or assessment, microbial risk assessment. We have physical risk assessment, we have chemical risk assessment, and all these are laboratory oriented aspects which tell us how fast the food perishes. Consumer acceptability is paramount in food because the consumer today is not king, he's God. And if he rejects food that you present in your premise, in your enterprise, then you are totally demolished as a company. Therefore, I put forward the wonderful dictum which our most honorable Prime Minister Modi Sahib had put in his first tenure from 2014, that think global, act local. Last year was the year of the millets. As a country, we had applied for it in the UN in 2021, and they granted it 2 years later. That means last year. So what is the reason why we should be concerned? Because as a country, we grow 77 types of millets. We have such fertile soil that if we were to use millets and project all the dishes as we talk about, then definitely we are, going to move on even further. Today we are shining as a country, but we'll move further in the whole concept of prosperity. Then you think local. Please consume what is locally grown. And act global means project it in the global scenario. So in both the cases, quality becomes an enterprise. Hence, quality is a pivotal quest, and total quality management is a perpetual requirement. Let me hear itself define for the elite group. What is the meaning of quality? Quality as a word in English language is a collective noun. And we automatically assume that quality has an adjective, which is a positive adjective. Best quality, premium quality, uncompromising quality are some of the words which come to my mind. And the quest of every producer is that he should give the highest quality. So what is total quality management? Total quality management is that quality is a product of all the... I'm getting some disturbance, sir, please. I'm getting some disturbance. Thank you. Total quality management is centered around quality, where we say that quality is a product of all the positive attributes of food. And to manage each and every attribute is called total quality management. Naturally, it's a dynamic term, so it has to be managed perpetually. So what is our research? See, nature, Mother Nature has given us wonderful foods. And a human being or a Homo sapien needs 45 nutrients per day. Because I'm a qualified nutritionist, I will tell you this emphatically. They are divided into 7 classes. I am not going into that. But if you take a food and you increase the already existing nutrients in it, then such an act is called food amplification. And it can be done in the premises of food process concept, food process science. And if you magnify it, if you do it large scale, then it is food process technology. What are the mainstays of food processing? Nutrient enhancement. Like I said, you increase the nutrients of what is existing. The process of cooking. What is the manner in which you're going to cook it? The process of smoking. And I am not only talking of meats and non-vegetarian food. In our rural India, very commonly using chulha, using all kinds of smoking implements at the farm level. We smoke foods and consume them to enhance nutrition. Fermentation, which every microbiologist knows about. Drying, right from papad to achar to everything. We are very knowledgeable in that aspect. Amplification, I already told you about amplification. Irradiation, natural or man-made, because we have the sun all around. It's not that we are staying in a country like, no offense meant, Greenland or Alaska, where hardly there will be any sun. So we have the sun in our country shining bright, and that can be used for food processing and enrichment. So these are the mainstays of food processing. So we work on this with a food guide. They're called the 7 P's food guide. And this is a presentation I've made specifically for this elite gathering. I will request you not to record it, etc., other than by the use of the uh, Microbiological Society of India. You plan your biotechnology food processing process. You purchase the perfect ingredients. You procure them in the freshest manner. Then you process them the manner in which you want. Portionalize them the way you expect your consumer to accept it. And then partake the same through sensory evaluation and pervade it in your senses. It will be a good food memory. So the 360-degree spectrum of total quality management of foods is first to attain the highest quality. Everyone working in TQM and in the arena of total quality management always say it's like a horizon. You reach there and there's something higher you can aim for. Once you have attained that dream quality, you retain it. Today, I can swear by the four-letter word Tata. House of Tatas is known for total quality management. Interestingly, we have a long-going relationship with the company in my company. Then maintain the quality, because quality should not be an accident. It has to be sustainable. It should be repetitive. And only then you achieve holistic quality. And then the food guide, of course, is propelled by so many things. Dr. Singh sir told me that many students, many PhD scholars would also be attending this, or they have access to this. So I would like to tell them as a teacher, please do not ignore chemistry. Please do not ignore your ancillary subjects, because unless your foundation is perfect and sound, you can never get into the arena of research and entrepreneurship. So food chemistry, food nutrition, post-harvest technology, toxicology and analytics, food packaging, sensory evaluation, food laws, FSSAI, the Food Standards Authority of India. And the purposely I did not say the second S, because you should know it. It's safety. Food Safety Standards Authority of India. So nothing that you put in your mouth, and we in sensory science call it invasion, should be anything but safe. There is an acronym called GRAS, generally regarded as safe. And that's where our food microbiology comes into, and sanitation and hygiene. By the way, the pictures here are taken by us. These are real-time presentations. Then, therefore, how do you go about it? There are a lot of practices in the realms of laboratory, the scale up, the company level, and so on, which begin with good, but we have to call it good, better, best. So today you're doing something good, you have to go ahead and make it better and then best if you're talking of quality. So what I'm basically talking about is good laboratory practices, good manufacturing practices, good catering practices, though someone may say cooking practices, good packaging practices, and good processing practices. So these have to be studied, these have to be mastered, these have to be worked out in a particular manner. There are additional courses, we also conduct them. And only through these value addition skills that you can reach a point which makes you the best. Then we have what is called product presentation, sensory evaluation, a modular approach to quality control called hazard assessment critical control point, commonly called HACCP. Never do we call it HACCP. That's a wrong method of saying it. It's hazard assessment critical control point. The flow chart making, the upscale or upstream processing, the downstream processing, the recovery, and finally the product presentation to the consumer. So what is our premise? Our premise is my research. Training to increase a task force of excellent biologists who are value added. Sustainable development under the skill development program, entrepreneurship development, hand holding of startups, and extrapolation for product management. Our research forte, and my group has worked in it for about 25 years. I'm a doctoral guide and I am on the advisory board of various universities. Nutraceuticals, foods which cure, bioactives, the secondary metabolites that we talk about, SPD or simulated product development, and novel product development. So I'm not going to just, leave it to something abstract. I am going to tell you a success story in which my student, today a national and international awardee, worked on honey, and her brand is shining bright and interestingly very much centered around Chandigarh too, sir. So you will be very happy to know that. It's called Delicious. So it's a case study of honey. So what we did was we took a specific sample of honey which you obtained from various places, including Kashmir, Maharashtra, and of course, different parts of Himachal. Proximate analysis was carried out. Identification of bioactives was carried out. Estimation of quality and properties were carried out. Product amplification was carried out with additional known bioactives. And then total quality management was done. But this could only be done after you carried out a panel study with simulated product development and novel product development and extrapolation. So some of the bioactives which we are playing with, even today we are doing studies on this, are all which are found in our kitchen, because a Bharatiya kitchen is a very, very superior kitchen. It's a very scientific laboratory. Turmeric, that is haldi, cumin, jeera, lemon, nimbu, ginger, adrak, garlic, of course, lesun, pepper, kali miri, saffron, known as saffron or kesar, cloves, which are lavang, cinnamon, dalchini, and cardamom of at least 7 types. We know the green ones and the large ones known as the Shahi Ilaichi. And all of these we commonly use in our cooking practices, but all of them have a huge antimicrobial spectrum, and they help to actually keep us healthy. So the combination of these and many more, they work wonders on wellness and quotient enhancement. Today, as a very, very happy to know that you are uh, going to recognize that definitely year after year, the Indian thali is the most balanced of all the diets in the world. And it supplies all the 45 ingredients which are needed, 45 nutrients which are needed by Homo sapien. So some health benefits of honey, as I noticed the time too, detoxifies your body, helps you to lose weight, improves digestion, great for skin health, very, very wonderful to help you to fight allergies and reduce hair fall. These are the properties of honey, and I can go on talking about honey because we have given a lot of presentations on that and a lot of research and published work we have. Good source of antioxidants, helps in digestion, wonderful for dentition and gums, excellent antibacterial and antifungal properties, wound healing properties, especially for burn management, and topical too. Excellent for upper respiratory tract, and I can go on. The most wonderful thing is honey is almost universally acceptable. Hardly anyone will be there who would say that I don't like honey. So when you use honey as a bioactive loaded component, amplified component, enriched component, fortified component, you are going to be on a winning wicket because you are going to present a product which will be consumed very happily from pediatric to geriatric. And our research is dynamic with countless future objectives. We already have the cinnamon and the cardamom fortified honey on the shelves. Lots of it is also being exported by my mentee, and all of it is governed by best practices and total quality management. Because unless we have total quality management, we cannot make our progress in the entrepreneurship arena sustainable. So I conclude with a few quotes. Honey, your soul is golden. To date, no one has understood the complete composition of honey. And the bee, we have learned the saying also, busy as a bee, remains busy so that it can give us good health. And I would end with this nice saying, which I thought is relevant to all of us as academicians, researchers, consultants, scientists, that research is to see what everyone else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. So I sincerely thank Professor Albert for this, wonderful saying which spells out the ethos of our work, all of us together. And I end with be happy. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. I have completed my talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Shiny. Thank you. I'm available for any questions if you want.
Ma'am, thank you so much. Sir will join within few seconds.
No problem. Thank you so much. Hello.
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 Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir. I can.
There was some network problem. So I had to go out. I have come back again.
No problem. I have completed my talk, please.
Yes, I could see that. You gave an excellent talk,
Thank
and
you.
I listened to the talk very, very well. And your PPTs were very, very vivid, very clear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I made it
And
for our community
yes,
here.
yes.
I always do that. I don't use old PowerPoints. I make it specially for the talk, whichever I'm using.
That's very nice. And they were very impressive and very well made.
Thank you.
And I'm sure all the participants enjoyed your
Yes.
talk and also your PPTs. So if anybody has got any question,
Thank
you
you.
may ask. If anybody
Right.
has any
So
question.
may I leave now?
No,
Yeah,
if
that's
somebody,
what I asked. If they have a question, I'll answer. Okay.
yes. Anybody wants to ask any question? So I'll ask one question. Madam Jyoti.
Please.
Yes, I'm very impressed by
Ji.
the fortification of food, That's a very,
Right.
very good field of nutrition.
Correct.
So have you fortified some metalloid or something to foods?
Actually, indirectly, yes, sir.
Okay,
Because that is what would come in what we call the food complementation,
right.
where we take two foods and put them together, where
Yes,
one food is high in one micronutrient and the other food is not lacking but less in that. So through cooking practices and because it is sensorily accepted, you
yes.
can put the two together and take it from there. A
That's-
good example would be fortifying or enriching or complementing tomato soup with beetroot.
Yes.
Tomato largely would not have manganese.
Right.
Beetroot is very rich in manganese and zinc.
Right.
Both are red in color, and if you make the soup together, and
Yes.
today industries are doing it because it is all GRAs.
Right.
So
Right.
you can do that.
And
That
that's
kind of
very
work we have done. Yes.
that's very interesting. And if there is no more question,
Yeah.
then I think we can end the
Thank
talk.
you so much.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. Thank
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye. Bye bye.